Okay, thought me might try to do a little bit of viewing play for an activation or two, just to see how this works. So we're going to start the, was that the 11:30? Yeah, 11:30 game turn. The Union drew the initiative, and the first unit that they really need to move is Johnson's division, which is the reinforcements that came on. They also get Davis's this turn. Let's make sure we get them in the box. Where are you at, Davis? There you are. Alright, get his two chits in there. I guess we gotta find them first. Where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? Here we go. Alright, let's get Davis's two activation markers. Get them in there. Alright, there's my cup. It's not being used for coffee. So Davis has got two brigades and an artillery piece right here. What kind of leader is he? 2-3. Right. Alright, so let's start with Johnson. What do we want to do? Do we need to fill that gap in right there? Or do we need to get up higher here and get into that gap? I think we should probably fill in this gap down here. Let's start here. Well, there's no victory locations down here. I could probably shift Reynolds up to cover that area. Yep, let's see how many movement points we got. If they use extended, they'll have 6, but they can't extend into here because that'll put them within 2 or here. They can only go, so they might as well choose a regular movement of 4. All right, so let's see. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get him in there. Just move him right on up. Yeah, you're supposed to move them individually, but the artillery moves at a pace of 1 also. Oh yeah, and facing in this game, like I said, there's no cost. Just point them where you want them. So we get them all pointed towards Cheatham there in case he decides to attack. All right, takes care of Johnson's activities. That's how simple it is. And let's mix them up here. Draw the next one. And we're going to get Stewart's Brigade, who both his regiments are disrupted. So they're not going to do anything, and they can't recover while they're next to Union or enemy units. So I guess we'll have to do is get them out. You can see right there, they're both disrupted. And there's no withdrawal fire in this game, so we're going to back him up. And we will back him up. They can stack. Ooh, he can't go anywhere. Yeah, that's law. He can go. So you can have one full battery. So, oh, he's not disrupted. All right. So do we even want to consider that as combat right there? So you do movement and combat is all first, then shock, then you can do rally. Now, if you move, you can't do rally. So the 2 disrupted units that backed up, or excuse me, the 1 disrupted unit that backed up, he cannot rally. But the guy, and you have to go underneath when you move into a stack. So this guy here, he'll be able to attempt to rally since he's not adjacent. All right, we would be a 7 on 8, which you always round up, so it's going to be a -1. Always round in the favor of the defender. It would be a -1, and he's got a morale of 2, so no, that's not going to work. All right, so we'll just leave him there, and let's try to roll to recover that. He's got a morale of 4. Let's see if we can recover him. And we rolled a 9, so no, he does not recover. All right, that takes care of that turn. Get rid of Stewart's chip here. I sort of throw him over there as I discard him. And let's draw again. All right, here we go. Nathan Bedford Forrest. He's the next player. Come on down. He's got a lot of units, a lot of brigades on the board. Well, they're broken up, but they're there. All right, so amazingly enough, Confederate cavalry can charge it, or they can assault in the woods, but they get penalties for it. So, let's see what we got here. Does he want to mess around with them or not? Probably not. So let's take him. We'll go 1, 2, 3 into this cav here. All right, we'll pull him out and see cavalry in the woods is 4, but it's use half of it since he's on a trail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll get after these guys over here. All right. And then we got 1, 2, 3. And then 4 would give him 7 to here. Yeah, face him this way. Let's get the artillery up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll turn him around just in case. Just in case. Alright. Did I capture all that? I probably did. Anyhow, that's where those two units move to. You got to do all the movement and fire first. So we're moving in combat. So let's do these guys up here. Let's see. Through the woods is 4, and they only have a movement of 6. He ain't going very far, so we'll go 4. All right, and 4. The artillery he's only going to be able to move 1. All right, so he's on the corner there. Maybe next turn he can put some pressure on that infantry unit there. All right, so let's go back over here to the combat. All right, so we're going to do defensive fire first. So we have two units, 2 dismounted infantry stacked. And then we'll go over here to our chart, and we're doing defensive fire. Okay, they can retreat if they want. I don't think they can, though, dismounted. All right, so if the charging unit in the target hex is mounted cavalry, no. If the top defending unit is disordered, no. For infantry using defensive fire, subtract 1 for each target greater. So, okay, so they're going to shoot at both. So the first one, they won't lose anything. The second one, they'll get a -1. All right, and no other benefits. Okay, so he's going to get straight up on this one here, on the first one. So we'll target this unit here first. Where's the old dice? There it is. All right, so he's going to have to roll. Yeah, he's going to have to roll a 9, and he can't even affect this other unit from Wheeler. Or he can't even affect one of these two. He's not going to be able to affect. So whichever one he shoots at first. So I guess it doesn't matter. We'll shoot at the top one first. We'll shoot at Debril A. All right. He roll a 5, and he's nice. He didn't do nothing, and he can't. He'll lose 1 on the die roll for this guy here, and he has on the second one who has a morale of 8. So even if he rolls a 9, it's gonna be 8. So he can't do anything. So let's go right into the charge resolution. All right. So let's see what we got. There's the defender has 6 strength points, and the attacker has 8. So they say if you double it, so 8 and 8, 16 to 12. All right, so that's going to be like a 1.5 to 1 when you do that. So it's a +1. At least I think it is. If I'm wrong, somebody can tell me. All right, so we got a +1. Let's go here to the chart for charge resolution. All right, so we got a +1. That's the strength. All right, the difference between the 2 highest cohesions. Now, if it's mounted cavalry charging into the woods, the max they can have is a +1. So they have an 8, and the highest, both of the dismounted Union cavalries are 6. So it would be a +2, but since it's, I don't know, he's not in the woods, is he? Nope, Minty's in the clear. So it's going to be +2. All right, and it is cavalry charging infantry or dismounted, which is dismounted cavalry in this game. So they got a +2, and then they got charging infantry. It's +1, so there's +3. Anything else? Nope. So they're going to get a +3 on the charge resolution. Let's see what they roll. And they roll a 6, 7, 8, 9. So we go back up here to the charge resolution. Over there. And we see 5 to 10 is the defender retreats. It undergoes a CCDR. If he fails, he suffers disorder. And the attacker must advance. Okay. So he's got to retreat. And we'll back him off. All right, so back them off, and then their morale is 6. So we rolled a 3, and the bottom unit a 4. So they did not suffer disorder. And then the biggest cohesion unit, or if they're same, you can choose or largest strength. So we'll take him, move in here, and guess what? The Confederates have captured another victory location. Find me a little rebel flag to put on there. There we go. That one right here. So we'll put a little rebel flag on that one right there. So now they got 2. One more, and that will activate old Granger up here. Okay, so that takes care of Forrest's turn. See who's next. Who'd we get? We got Palmer. All right, Palmer right here in the middle. Now, he's got an opportunity here to... Is there artillery left? Nope. But he can fight this guy here if he wants. Let's do our movement first. It's Stewart, guys. Stewart's got 2 regiments in here. Don't mess with him. Let's see. Well, let's make sure... Let's get this right. So let's bring this other infantry unit in. All right. 1, 2, 3 to move in there. All right, and we're going to assault him. Does he want to? Nah, we don't. Nah, retreat. Retreating's no fun. Excuse me. All right, so let's fire. He's just infantry. He's not going to get any pluses. Just straight up infantry, and he's firing into the woods, so that's going to be -1 on defensive fire. So we roll a 4, and defensive fire does not affect. Ooh, no, didn't affect his morale. Let's see what the bottom guy is. Oh, no, you only shoot. Now, when you do this defensive fire, you only shoot at the top unit. So if he disrupts, the bottom unit just, regardless what happens to the bottom unit, whether he disrupts or not, if the top unit's disrupted, they can't do their charge. Okay, so he did not disrupt. All right, so now we'll do the charge. All right, the charge, he's got, so we're going to use the second unit here, the second number, which is an 8. That's your charge number. And the bottom unit, it has a 7. So there's 15. All right, so we got 15 into, he doesn't have an assault number, so 15 into 4. So you always round up in favor of the defenders. So it's going to be 3 to 1. So 3 to 1 on the odds DRM is +3. So they're starting off +3 against Johnson's, Fulton's brigade. All right, and then the highest morale is a 4. Or is it something better than that? Let's see. A 5. All right, so 5 into a 6. So we said +3. So now the morale, or the cohesion of 5 against the 6, that's -1. So now we're at +2. And you're charging into the woods. So that takes it down to +1. All right, so we're going to do a +1. All right, here we go. And we rolled a 6. So that makes it a 7. All right, and a 7 on the charge result is same thing. Defender retreats and undergoes a cohesion check. If he fails, he is disordered, and the attacker must advance. All right, so he's going to retreat. So we'll retreat him back towards his buddies there. And when you retreat, facing does not change. All right, so retreat him back there. Let's see if he disorders. We rolled a 2, so now he's okay. And the top unit only advances. So we'll advance him like this here. All right, put the leader back on there. All right, so I mean, you know, it's a simple system. That's a battle. That's a fight, or you know, like I said, they mix it all together: charge, fire, melee, whatever. You know, they just put it all together. All right. So, and there's also a result where the attacker, if you roll 11 or higher, he can continue to melee, so he can just keep right on driving if that happens. All right, takes care of Palmer. Let's see what's next here. All right, we get Brandon. All right, let's see what Brandon's got going on. All right, so he's got 1 disrupted. All right, let's see. 1 disrupted. 2 disrupted. All right, so he's got 2 disrupted, so I don't think they're going to move. I think we're going to change that facing on this one here, though, just in case cavalry tries to run around. All right, so instead of, and there's no fire, you can't see anybody with his artillery. So I think what we'll do is we'll roll for recovery of these disorders here. All right, so we'll go with the 5 first on the left, and we roll a 9. And then the 4, we roll a 4. All right, so he recovers. And I probably could have moved that 6 out. All right, so one of them did not. All right, put him back under. Nothing lost. They're still holding their ground. All right, takes care of Brandon. All right, let's see who's next. Cheatham. And Cheatham does have some brigades that can attack. Fortunately, Johnson, Cheatham's yellow ones there, Johnson is in the way. So let's see, can we get, yes, 1. Is he in the woods? No. Now you can move into another hex next to an enemy unit. or next to the rim, but yet it's an immediate stop. You can't, so he can't go here and then move out into the clear. So I think what we'll do is we'll move him over here 1. That puts him in his flank. Then we'll bring this guy here, and we'll bring this guy here. So that would be 1, 2. All right. Cost him 3 to move over there. Need to get Cheatham's artillery up. So actually, there's just no shots for these guys. If I could get him here, he would be able to shoot next time if that guy's still there. So we'll bring him up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, he's disrupted, so he can't do nothing. All right, so let's go over here. Do we want to fire? We're going to return fire. Now, he can only fire at these 2. So you fire at the hex. He can't shoot into his rear. All right, so he's going to shoot. He's got nothing, but he is shooting into the clear. I think on defensive fire, yeah, you get a +1 for clear. All right, so we're going to roll on +1. So he's going to have to roll better than a 6. Or excuse me, put that better than a 6. And he rolls a 2. See? No effect. So we're going to have combat. Now, we've got 6 and 7. There's 13. And 7 more is 20. All right, we got 20 into 8, so that's going to end up being 2 to 1. Like I say, round off in favor of the defender. So that's +2. All right, we're going into his flank, so that's +1. He's in the woods, so we're up to +3 now. He's in the woods, so that's, or +3 at the flank. He's in the woods, so that's down 1. So we're back down to +2. See if we've got anything else over here. Oh yeah, the morale. Okay, so we're at +2, and the morale highest one is, let's make sure, is a 6, and he's a 4, so there's 2 more, so that's, we're up to what, +4 now? +5, we're up to +5. All right, anything else? Nope, nope, nope. All right, so +5. See what we get. A 2 + 5 is 7. So we get a 7, and that's the standard one. Defender retreats and does his cohesion check. He can retreat, fortunately. If you retreat and you have to retreat into a frontal hex of an enemy, it's another disorder. So he's going to retreat here, and then he has to roll for disorder. And he is a 4, and he rolls a 0, so he's good. All right, Johnny Reb advances. We'll advance this guy. Yeah. This is my first time holding this cell phone or camera and trying to play. I got my GoPro Hero 7 Black over there, but I got to learn how to use that darn thing first. All right, let's try to recover these guys here. They didn't move, so he's a morale of 6. And he rolls a 7. All right, this guy here, who is he? He is, Cheatham's brigade is a good brigade too. Except for this guy, he's a 4. And we rolled a 5, so nothing. Yeah, leaders don't do anything for that, which I think is a shame. And they should have an effect, I think. All right, that takes care of Cheatham. And let's move on to the next draw. What do we got here? We got Brandon again. All right, so Brandon, we just did him. See, that's something. There's your fog of war. You never know who's going to move. So he doesn't need to move again. Everybody but this guy is normal. So let's try to get him back again. And we roll an 8. Still nothing. Do we want to separate? Too late. I've done my. I can't do it now. I've done my rally roll. I wanted to split those units up. But you know what? I'll forget if I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to violate the rules, and I'm going to turn this guy. I'm going to back him up, which is all of his movement, and put him over here. I'm going to have to turn these guys. He's going to have to hit the cavalry. He's going to have to hit Forrest in the back end there. All right, takes care of Brandon. Who's next? And Johnson, he gets his second activation. Great timing, because look what he's going to do. That was a bad move I made with the Confederates, wasn't it? Hasty, hasty, hasty. First, let's fire. So let's fire that 2. All right, and here comes artillery fire. So you do that first. All right, so he's 2 hexes away from that unit. He's shooting, or from this unit. He's shooting him in the back end. So let's go over the artillery tables. All right. I know it says Antietam Creek in Cedar, but this is the one they say for you to use. And I think they're the same. So he's a short range cannon, and he's shooting at 2 hexes, so there's no pluses. Okay, so he's got just his normal +2. And amazingly enough, doesn't say anything about flanking fire. I guess it doesn't matter. All right, so he's going to shoot +2 into the back end of that guy. So he's got to roll. He's got to roll a 7 or better to do anything to him. And he rolls a 4, 5, 6. That doesn't do nothing. You see here on the artillery resolution, it says 8 or less, nothing happens. All right, but let me tell you something. You get some point blank fires going on. You have 2 artillery units stacked. Oh yeah, it's a lot of points. All right, so let's get the infantry in here. So we can get now. If you move, give me an example here. So let's say I move this guy into this hex, but I don't really want to assault him. That's fine, but he has to be. Let's say I wanted him to assault this guy. Well, if he's going to assault, he's got to do both of them unless you can cover that guy. And the only way to cover would be to have another unit from the same division covering. You can't use a brigade from another division. But in this case here, we're going to go right here. We're in his flank. We're going to bring him up. All right, 1, 2. Artillery stays put. And, oh boy, if we could get him in there. 1, 2, 3. No, he's not going to get in there. However, now he's not a very big, so let's put him in here with the artillery. All right. Yeah, he doesn't do anything. Oh, sorry. Put them in with the artillery. Okay. So he can't do nothing. There's no reaction and all that stuff. So we're going right into assault, right into the charge. So we've got 6 and 7. So there's 13 into 6. So we're going to get 2 to 1. So that's +2. All right, +2. Morales are both. Oh no, he's got a 6. So we're +2. So now we're back to +1. All right, let's back up here. All right. Let's see what the defender's terrain is before we look at that. All right. So the defender's terrain is woods. So that's going to give us on charge. The woods is the 3rd line there. We're checking them. It's -1. All right, so we're down to +1 now. All right, +1. Already did that. We did that. Attacking through the defender's rear hex side. All right. Well, that's rear hex sides. Okay. All right. So he gets a +1. So we're back to +2. Combined attack. All right. That's it. +2. So we'll roll +2. Roll a 5. And there's our typical defender retreats. And undergoes a morale check. So he retreats. And then he has to assume this guy's. And he goes underneath. So let's check him for morale. He has to assume that guy's posture. Let's roll for morale. He didn't disorder. All right, so there he is. And it would be this guy that goes forward. All right? All right, nothing has happened. He won the fight, but nobody's disordered. That's great about these kind of games. You know, you're not flipping numbers over, trying to see, to account for strength. It's either you move away, you get disordered, and the only time you really lose anything drastically is if you take a second disorder, you get thrown off the map into the withdrawn box, and then you wait. And usually it's about a turn and a half where you can try to come back on. But like I say, when you come back on, you have to roll for his cohesion to see if he comes back on. And if he fails the cohesion check, when he's trying to recover, he gets eliminated permanently. So that's really the only way you lose anything. Artillery, if they get caught alone, they can't retreat. Or if they're disordered, they can't retreat. They're just eliminated. I think I'm going to stop it there. And I'm going to finish up the rest of the turn and close out this video. All right, talk to you soon.